What's going on, guys? It's your boy Arjen back again for another Anchor Panic video. And for today, let's talk about the Sigil Selector. Which one should you choose? Now, this one is going to be very tricky because there's a lot of Sigils out there that you can choose from. Now, you should be wise in choosing the correct Sigil that you want or you need. I'm going to be sharing with you my honest thoughts and my honest opinions regarding the Sigil that you should choose in this selector. Everyone will get this called Targeted Sigil Select Pack. It's part of the rewards that we can get. So everyone has this one. So you should be able to choose one SSR Sigils from this one. Not including the rated up banner, which is the Sigil for Kasania, and then Olivia. I believe Olivia is the one. So let's take a look at all of the Sigils here. So we have your Falling Monolith. Take into consideration also the stats, the main stats of the Sigils. As you can see here, this one has critical damage, 10.5%, and also the Sigil effect. This one, Falling Monolith, each segment of attack has an 80% chance to increase operator's crit rate by 6% up to 5 stacks. So maximum. But this one, effects reset upon triggering a critical hit. So it's kind of useless in my honest opinion because once you've already deal critical damage or a critical hit, the stacks will no longer be there. And this is what do you call a generic SSR weapon. It's not a signature one. Signature one has a picture of the character that are featured there, and also has some exclusive passive to those characters that they belong. And then we have here the Great Furnace. This one, critical rate 7.2%. That's the main stat here. And then the effect. After dealing attack damage, there's a 70% chance to gain 1 charge, increasing subsequent attack damage by 18%. Effect resets at the end of the turn. I'm not really a fan of this type of passive effect where the stacks goes away after a certain amount of turn. Then here we have Arrival of the Outsider. Critical rate again when attacking enemies under debuff or abnormal status. Attack increases by 16%. So this one does not it's not the same like the previous two where it goes away, but this one is very situational, meaning that you need the debuffer on your team because the attack increase will not proc if the opponent does not have any debuffs on them. So yeah, it's very situational or conditional Sigil here. Then we have your Luxuriant Origin. This one, base attack 8.1%, and then the effect. When releasing normal attack and energy skill, there's a 60% chance to increase operator's attack by 10% up to 2 stacks. Effect resets after action. Not a fan, so this one is a cross again. This one is not really recommended. If you want the base attack, maybe. But if you can get this one in the standard summons. Oh, by the way, that is also a factor when choosing this one. You should try to spend your Sigil summons first, this one. Because who knows, you might be able to get the one that you will be choosing in the selector. So try to do your Sigil pull first before deciding on what Sigil to choose here in the selector. So next we have Whale Echo. Critical damage is the main stat. Increases skill damage by 18%. If the operator takes damage before action, this effect reduces by 25%. So it has some good effect, but it has also a downside. That is that if the unit takes damage before taking action, so the effect will be reduced. So 25% of 18% is around, divide by 4. Around 4% increase in attack only. Or I mean 4% increase in skill damage only. Yeah, it's not really looking good also. Guiding Beacon. Base attack 8.1%. Then effect. Energy burst damage increases by 17%. Energy burst damage, this is your ultimate skill. Yeah, the naming of the terminologies in this game are a bit complicated because let's just generalize it that energy burst damage is your skill tree or your ultimate skill. For each ally of the same element on the field, additional energy burst damage increases by 5%. So, very, very nice. Since if you have a 5 mono team, the burst damage that you will deal is very high. This one is going to be a really good substitute. This one is going to be a generic DPS Sigil. Yeah, very, very strong passive here, and also it gives you a base attack percent here. So if you're trying to build a mono team, or usually you have a mono team to tackle some difficult stages where you have the type advantage for that one, then this one is going to be really good on your main DPS or even sub DPS. This one, you can consider this one. Moving on, we have here automated, base HP 9%. For each ally of the same element of the field, HP cap increases by 4% and depth increases by 2%. This one is mostly for your tanky characters like tanks or even your support characters. That's just my honest opinion regarding that one. Next, we have Unknown Spiral. Healing boost, or usually for healers. For each 10% of target's life loss, healing skill effect increases by 2%. If an ally dies before action, healing effect additionally increases by 10% for this turn. So yeah, it just increases your healing capacity. It's very generic for healer, but you might want to consider other things besides this one. Next, we have now the signature sigils for characters. Although you can still, even if you don't have the character, you can still equip this one on other characters. Yeah, that's how good these signature sigils are. This one, lightning damage, 6.6%. And then increases critical damage by 14%. So it's like a dual stat here. You gain lightning damage and then you also gain critical damage here. And then the exclusive passive, when equipped by Ling during each, this one only affects Ling. So if Ling is your favorite operator or waifu, you might want to consider this one. But yeah, for general usage, it has some really good stats. Critical damage and then 6.6 lightning damage. Although this one is just for your lightning DPS. Only lightning DPS can really benefit from this one. Next, we have this one for Flicker, for tanks. Base HP 9%, and then shield effect increases by 12%. This one, if you don't have Flicker and you're using a SR character tank, then this one is going to be best in slot on them, because especially for Antelope. Yeah, Antelope really loves this sigil here, because Antelope is the one that give shield, self buff shield, and then give shield to other your teams, and then she's the main tank. So yeah, something like that. Next, we have here for Leng Jiao, for ice DPS. Ice damage 6.6%, and then increased skill damage by 12%. So, and then the exclusive passive is mostly for Leng Jiao. So if you're going to be considering using Leng Jiao for the long term, then you might want to consider this one. Next, we have Web Binding Body for from Lycosia. Double crit rate stats, very nice, 7.2% and then 10% here. It's a really good stat pad for your DPS. Feather Grab. This one is for Lilira. In my honest opinion, this one is probably one of the best sigils out there to take into consideration. Base HP 9%, and then the effect. When healing allies, the lower the target's HP, the stronger the healing effect. Max healing effect increased by 20% when HP is below 25%, starting with 10% healing effect increase. This one can be used by all of the healers, not only by Lilira. When equipped by Lilira, you got HP cap increased by 12% and shield effect increased by 12%. So that's the exclusive passive, but the passive is already pretty good for your generic healers out there, especially if you don't have Lilira. But the good thing in this game is that during the 7th day login, we will be getting a SSR selector. So if you don't have Lilira, you can grab Lilira there. And in my honest opinion, Lilira is one of those characters that is future-proof. Next, we have Frost Rider for Dawn. Ice damage and then critical damage by 14%. This one can be generally be used by Ice DPS characters. But for Dawn, this one is really good because it has some defense penetration for the exclusive skill. Glaze Reflection for Yan. Physical damage dealer. So, crit rate, physical damage, and then the exclusive passive exclusively for Yan. Stage opening for Echo. 8.1% attack. The main stat here, and then the effect with each action provides 3% attack boost and 1.5 speed boost to all allies until battle ends up to 3 stacks. This one is pretty much best in slot for Echo, and in my honest opinion, one of the sigils that you might want to consider in choosing in this selector, because the attack boost and the speed boost to your team is very nice. Even if you don't have Echo, that one will still procs, because this one is not tied to or not exclusive to Echo. Attack boost and speed boost is very nice passive buff from just equipping the sigil. So yeah, one of the sigils that I highly recommend into choosing this one. And then we have Tipsy Days for Grenache or Grenache. Base attack 8.1%, critical rate 10%. So usually your generic DPS option. Wind Drip for turn. This one also has some really good effect, and also a main stat. Speed 3.3%. And then Sigil effect. Provide 3% speed boost to all allies for 2 turns up to 2 stacks. So you get more speed boost from this one. This one is looking pretty darn strong. Yeah, one of the choices also that is one of my highly recommended sigil to consider in choosing here. So yeah, very nice sigil effect and sigil main stat there. We have here for Marceline. Fire damage 6.6%, then critical damage 14%, usually for your generic fire DPS. And then for Merlot, skill damage and then fire damage, another for DPS or fire, or if you're using Merlot, then you might want to consider that one. I do have Merlot, but I'm not considering that one. Then next, Rotor Sound for physical damage. You get the gist, right? You get the gist of the idea on the main stat and then the sub stat. This one for Alice, 6.6% lightning damage and defense ignore 8%. Lightning DPS. And then we have here for Diamond, ice DPS, ice damage, critical rate, silency, ice damage, and then skill damage. And then lastly, idle victory for Newcastle, 8.1% attack, and then increases attack by 2.5% for each ally of the same element in the field for mono team. So, what are my highly recommended sigil to choose from here? Number 1 would be, of course, stage opening for Echo. Echo, I'm talking about longevity here and future-proof. Echo is one of those characters that is future-proof, and having her signature sigils on her, then you have a really good support character that you will be using for a long time. So yeah, this one is highly recommended, and this is the one that I'm going to be getting for Echo. Another one to consider is this one for the healers, for Lilira's signature sigil. It has some really nice effect, and especially if you have Lilira, the effect is very nice, because Lilira can also buff your characters with shield, so it increases the values of the shield. And then lastly would be Turn. The main stat is pretty unique, 3.3% speed. I think this is the only sigil that has the speed bonus here. And also the sigil effect is very nice, because it gives you a speed boost to all your teams that can stack up to 2 times. Very, very nice, very, very strong, and I highly recommend those 3 Sigils. You can only choose one. If only we can choose 3, then I will be grabbing all 3 of them. But the sad is that we can only choose one of them. So yeah, I'm going to be choosing this one of the record. I'm going to be choosing this one because I need to do something else. But yeah, I think that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you could help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.